Hey guys, we're pleased to confirm we have Casey Goss from Viral Launch speaking at Seller Sessions Live in London on June 1st. Joining myself will have Evelyn Demirov, Anthony Lee, Leran Hirschkorn and Paul Harvey. We will be announcing more speakers and content very soon. Visit sellersessions.com/live to grab early bird tickets before they all go to full admission. We'd like to say a big thank you to our media partners including GS1 UK, Web Retailer, River Cleaner, Six Leaf, Orange Click, Amazing Freedom and Viral Launch. We look forward to seeing you all in London on June 1st. Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today I bring back Michael Hartman. How you doing?
Good, Danny. How are you?
Yeah, good. So this is kind of breaking news. We've picked up on a news article that we translated. It says last night Amazon Germany sealed countless sellers and even the 5 stations in Europe were all shut down. So it just goes to show how great the translation program is. But basically this is, I'll put this into the show notes. It's done by mjzj.com. I read some of the articles on there and use Google Translate. So you have to kind of pick through the bones. But moral of the story is around 95% of Chinese sellers in Germany been suspended due to not providing a German tax certificate. So obviously you guys can read for themselves. What's your take on this?
I think it's a huge opportunity for any seller currently registered with a VAT certificate in Germany.
Yeah.
And for those who are in the process or almost there, I think it's huge because, I mean, let's look at across Europe or in the US, what percentage are Chinese sellers? I think it's more than half at least. Yeah. So now you just lost half of the competition. Most of them are doing like, let's say Blackhat stuff. There's a lot of Chinese people doing this or knockoffs. So now is the time to rank and push hard so you get that sales velocity up. So that way, when they do come back, because they will come back, it's even harder to remove you from your positioning.
Yeah. So here's a translated letter that was sent out or email to people's accounts. It says, "Dear seller partner, your account has been blocked from selling on Amazon DE Marketplace using FBA services in Germany, including Pan-EU and CEE FBA programs, and from shipping orders to Germany based on customers because your German tax certificate was not uploaded and verified by the deadline. Under new VAT legislation, online marketplaces must collect German tax certificate from selling partners selling from locations in Germany or to customers in Germany. Please upload, So it talks about the amount of days. People can read for themselves. So it's quite interesting. There is a timeline. A lot of the guys have gone past that timeline. Either they've missed it or intentionally ignored it. You can make what you want of that. But yeah, that's one of the biggest. I mean, the Germans have gone in hard on this. I mean, in the UK on that, they seem to be a lot softer. I know that there's like some VAT evasion groups on Facebook here in the UK, and the often complaint there is that the UK office take such a soft approach to this, and plus they've done like Panorama. I mean, we've done a VAT episode. If you do a search in the show notes, sellersessions.com, and then do a search for VAT fraud, and then you'd be able to pull up that episode. But like you said, it's a big opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a big opportunity for Europe as a whole also, So because UK did this a couple of years back or something similar where they threw off a lot of Chinese sellers. And you can assume that the rest of Europe is losing money, so they might implement this. And the Chinese are only going to react once they get booted off. I mean, that's my opinion. That's actually, let's say, historically speaking, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. And in Germany, I mean, before this even happened, on some German accounts, I'm actually making more money in Germany than I am in the US, just because of the competition is less because of the language barrier. Yeah. So I think if you're thinking about going in Germany, stop thinking, start doing. And if you're already in Germany, ramp up those marketing campaigns, take the market share, definitely, get your email follow-up going, get your reviews up. And, 20, 30 reviews in Germany, you can sell really, really well.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's very, very interesting. While we're talking, I've just been flicking through this article. And it's leaving different email performance team emails and stuff. So some good stuff in there if you want to put this right. Let's just say we get Chinese sellers listening to the show and they might have been caught on this. and they want to know how to put this right, there's plenty of information in the website to go through and pick up on that. Now, which brings us on to a slightly different point, but is still interesting. Let's talk a bit about Vender One and the supposed Vender One that's launching sometime this year, April, beginning of this year. It's been spoken about since last year, because we know that the level of abuse that's been happening to listings, one of those was through the Vender Central accounts, right? And people were buying them at 15 grand a pop. One is because they can do manipulation and it's worth their while. And two is a defense mechanism. So when someone does abuse their listing, they can use Vender Central to address that rather than have to keep going back to Amazon.
Correct. So I think with Vender One, everybody heard that they stopped doing purchase orders. And then Amazon came out and said, we're not going to do any more purchase orders. Now, this week, people started getting purchase orders, and they were told that you need to have brand registry 2.0. So if you don't have brand registry 2.0, you're automatically going to get your vendor account shut down by some deadline, I think in April. Yeah. I want to say 11th or something like this. So it seems like Amazon is trying to purchase directly from the brand and then put the other people as 3PL, right? So if you're not the brand owner, you'll get booted off. And if you're not doing a certain amount of money, you'll get booted off. Secondarily, there's been a knock-on effect about that, which has been there's been a fire sale of vendor accounts coming from China. Right. So 15 grand is actually a little under market value. The market value was somewhere around 30 at that point. And so now they're around 20,000. I'm getting hit up every day asking if I want to buy a vendor account. They can unlock it in all these different categories. And all I can think, there's no way I'll buy a vendor account not knowing what's going to happen in a month from now, right? Yeah. So it could go away.
And let's be clear that if you did buy the vendor account, it's a protection mechanism.
Yeah. 100%. So you can do what's called retail contributions to your own listings and A+ pages and Amazon Vine. And you have all these different tools that you can use to protect your brand and help grow your brand, both marketing and internal tools, which are really, really cool. However, a lot of people use it to abuse other listings because with the vendor account, I'm able to change anyone's listings through what's called a retail contribution, which actually overrides brand registry. Yeah. So it takes even longer to fix. It's quite a pain. And there's been a lot of abuse with this, and this is why they want to get rid of it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's from what I've seen. The other thing that I don't know if I mentioned last time was I was talking to a vendor manager from the US last week, and he said it was supposed to originally roll out in April. Maybe they rolled it out earlier. He didn't know until they rolled it out. Secondarily, anyone who wants a vendor account needs a level 7 manager, whatever that means. And then thirdly, whatever you see happening in the US, whether it's PPC, vendor stuff, Seller Central stuff, will be rolled out to Europe secondarily. So historically speaking, it normally happens within a few days unless it's a big, big change. And they said this is probably going to happen over the summer in Europe if it happens in the spring in the US. I asked for concrete deadlines. They said they thought April at the earliest, but once again, they don't know until it happens, something like that.
Makes sense. So where do you see it going from here in terms of the abuse and the introduction? So obviously crystal ball time. With the introduction of Vender One, do you think it does away with a lot of the abuse in terms of the traditional abuse because there's more controls being put in place? The accounts are going to be more trackable, I imagine, or not?
I think that they will be more trackable. I think that the issue that I've been seeing since last week is there was a huge spike in Blackhat vendor attacks. Yeah. So after they stopped these purchase orders, there was a huge spike. And I think it's because people realized that soon it was going to be gone. So let's take out the competition and try and rank my products. Now that that's kind of up in the air and some of the accounts will be capped and some will be shut down, they kind of calmed down from what I can see as of yesterday. Yeah. And I think that more and more Amazon is going to be pushing towards 3PL services. If you look at Vendor isn't as scalable as it is for their third-party sellers. Mm-hmm. So you can look at the big growth numbers with Amazon's income statement, and it's always growing it with the third-party sellers. Yeah. This is what you can look at the P&L and everything else.
No, makes sense. I spoke to one of my clients, was it yesterday or this morning? I can't remember. I'd lose track of time. Obviously, that date will be different by the time the podcast goes out. But he was telling me that the new sneaky one that he gets attacked on his listings is that leaving the right kind of comments and keywords in the seller feedback. So they're basing it on returns, are causing listings to be suspended as well.
So they're not only doing that on feedback. Last week, I actually saw it happening on product reviews.
Yeah.
Especially in the supplements. Let's just go supplements. So I saw people like going to the hospital. They're in comas now.
Jesus Christ.
So this used to work. It was called nuking an account.
Yeah.
So you would write a like seller feedback or send a message with like hospital, blind, vomiting blood, and it would automatically suspend the account for a private thing. They got rid of that because it was just abused, right? It was automated. Now they're going up, but you have your customers reading this. And if you get enough of these, you will suspend a listing or an account. Yeah. And it works, but not as effective as it used to. What's happening now is you're seeing this beforehand. As soon as that was posted, it would automatically suspend the account. You would never see the review.
Now you get a wave of it over a period of time.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and to fend that off, man, to be honest with you, I have some, let's say, email removal templates. And even on these things that are just completely, false and just ridiculous. Like my daughter went to the hospital and is now in a coma after taking this.
Yeah.
Which is just, and then it will say, I tried the blank, before and it was way better. And it's obviously the competitor. I can't even get them removed. Like I escalated all the way up to Jeff and they're like, no, it's within our terms of service. And I was like, are you joking?
Yeah.
Are you joking? So
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Look, let's leave that there. I think we covered enough on this one. What's the best way that people can reach you?
They can email me, Michael@Innoventic, INNOVENTIC.com.
Excellent. Guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, we've got Seller Sessions live in London, June 1st. Go to sellersessions.com/live to grab tickets. And I'll see you again in the next few days. Take care.